Wedding dress of Queen Alexandra. On the 10th of March 1863, Princess Alexandra of Denmark captivated the world when she married Albert Edward, Prince of Wales, in a wedding dress that would etch itself into royal fashion history. Her gown wasn't just a piece of clothing, it was a symbol of her style and the cultural significance of the event. Crafted with the finest materials, the dress featured exquisite lace from Devon and silk from London's Spitalfields, embodying a blend of elegance and economic mindfulness. Alexandra's choice to wear this particular dress spoke volumes about her taste and the societal expectations of royal attire during the Victorian era. In the 1800s, a lot of people were excited about a big wedding. A young Danish princess named Alexandra was getting married on the 10th of March, 1863. She walked into St. George's Chapel in Windsor to marry Albert Edward, the Prince of Wales, who would one day be king. Alexandra's dress was very important because she was marrying someone so close to the throne, and her dress impressed everyone. It was both elegant and simple, and it helped make her a fashion icon. Alexandra's wedding dress became famous because she was the first royal bride in Britain to be photographed in her wedding dress. The wedding itself was a huge event and was even more notable because it took place during a sad time. The prince's father had died not long before, and his mother, Queen Victoria, was deep in mourning, which affected the whole mood of the occasion. Despite the sadness, Queen Victoria was smart about public relations. She had once used her own wedding dress to help boost the economy in poorer areas. And Alexandra did something very similar. Her dress was made of silk from Spitalfields, a poor part of London, and the lace on the dress came from Honiton in Devon, which helped the people there make a living from their lace-making skills. Alexandra had her own unique fashion sense from a young age, growing up in a modest royal setting in Copenhagen's Yellow Palace, where she learned to sew her own clothes. She developed a style that would make her a trendsetter of the 19th century. On her wedding day, despite the overall sadness of the event, her dress stood out. It had an off-the-shoulder design, a snug bodice, and a large full-length skirt decorated with 4 layers of lace adorned with orange blossoms and myrtle. Her long train made of silvery fabric stretched out 21 feet behind her, and her lace veil, pinned with more orange blossoms, also featured symbols of the UK: roses, shamrocks, and thistles. The lace details on her dress were crafted by Miss Tucker and her team at John Tucker & Co. The lace pattern included symbols of roses, shamrocks, and thistles. Alexandra also wore a lace-trimmed veil, train, and handkerchief made by the same company. On her head, Alexandra wore a wreath of orange blossoms and myrtle, and she held a bouquet made up of orange blossoms, white rosebuds, lilies of the valley, orchids, and myrtle. Her wedding jewellery was a mix of gifts, including a pearl necklace, earrings, and a brooch from the Prince of Wales, bracelets from Queen Victoria, and gifts from her ladies of Leeds and Manchester. Right after the wedding, before leaving for her honeymoon, Alexandra posed for an official portrait with her husband and his mother, Queen Victoria, dressed in mourning black and sadly looking at a bust of Prince Albert. This contrasted with Alexandra, who, despite being only 18 and in a challenging situation, looked confidently at the camera. Her presence and defiance in the photo hinted at the resilience she would bring to her new role and challenging marriage. So what happened to Alexandra's wedding dress? When an artist named William Pearl Frith was hired to paint the wedding, he asked to see the dress to make sure that he got all of the details right, but to his surprise, the dress he got was already changed into an evening gown. Alexandra, who grew up learning to be careful with money, had her dress altered by her dressmaker, Madame Elise, so that she could wear it again at parties during the year. All this happened after March 10, 1863, the day Alexandra became the future Queen of Britain. Her wedding dress, even in its altered state, remains an iconic example of royal style and its lasting influence on the image of monarchy. The wedding dress of Princess Alexandra left a lasting impression, not only because of its beauty and style, but also due to the unique circumstances surrounding its use. After the wedding, Alexandra, ever frugal and practical, had the dress altered into an evening gown to ensure it continued to be worn at various social functions. This transformation reflects her pragmatic approach to royal fashion, highlighting a departure from the one-time use norm of wedding dresses at the time. Alexandra's wedding gown, from its initial showcase to its later adaptation, remains a poignant reminder of how royal fashion can influence and reflect broader social and economic trends, making it a timeless piece in the history of monarchy and style.